Assalamu alaikum. Today I'll be continuing with chapter number 5. As in the last class we had finished chapter number 4. So the name of our chapter is our nervous system. Now before the lockdown, do you remember that you used to come to school and you used to have homeworks, you used to do all of that. Now what or who actually helps you to do all of this work? It is your nervous system. Okay, so we are going to talk about that system today. Now this nervous system, it basically controls all the activities of your body, and this nervous system, it consists of three parts, which are the brain, then it has the spinal cord, and it also has the nerves. So these are the basic things of which your nervous system is composed of. Now we are going to look at each one of them in detail. So first we're going to start with brain. Now you can term the brain as the boss of the body, alright. It controls all the functions of your body, and it has all the functions of your body like digestion, then the breathing which you do, everything is controlled by your brain. Then our brain helps us, or our nervous, our brain helps us to move about, to move our body parts, alright. And it also helps us to react to something. For example, if you don't know that there is a hot utensil and if you just touch it accidentally, you will immediately remove your hand. So who does that, or with the help of what do you do that? It's your brain who says that it's hot, so remove your hand immediately, alright. And the brain, it helps you apply logic. If you remember, we often ask you questions, so you have to think. Who does that? It's your brain. Then you memorize, you do your homework, you learn. Everything is done with the help of your brain. Now the brain, it is a very delicate organ, and hence it has to be protected. So the brain, it is protected with the help of a bony structure, which is known as the skull. If you see your head here, you can feel your bones. So your brain, it is protected by the skull. Alright. And this brain also, it can be broadly divided into three parts. What are the parts? The first part is the cerebrum. The second part is the cerebellum. And the third part is the brainstem. Now we are going to talk about each of this one by one. See, the cerebrum, this is the largest part of the brain, alright? This is the largest part of the brain. It helps in thinking and all that processes. Then the cerebrum, it is smaller than the cerebrum, and it lies just beneath the cerebrum, alright? And then there is brainstem. It is like this, a small stem kind of structure, which connects your brain to the spinal cord. I will just show you an image here. Now see, this is the brain. This entire thing that you can see here see, this is the cerebrum, alright. This part is responsible for thinking and reasoning, and it also controls your memory, intelligence, learning, and all the sense organs. Then just beneath the cerebrum, we have the cerebellum. Now this part, it is, as you can see, it is situated below the cerebrum, and it controls muscle movement and also muscle coordination. So it is with the help of cerebrum that we can stand upright straight. Now from the cerebrum, you can see there is this like a small stem-like structure. This is known as the medulla or the brainstem, alright. This part, it helps in vital processes like the breathing and digestion, even blood circulation. You can see here, this part of the brain or the medulla, it connects to the spinal cord. See here, there is another image here. This is the main part of the brain here, and then this part, this is the medulla, and see, it connects to the spinal cord. Now we saw that the medulla, this was like part of the brain, and we saw that we have the medulla here, and that connects to the spinal cord, right? The spinal cord. So let us just see what is the spinal cord. So it is the extension. As you can see, the medulla here is extended. Hence, spinal cord is that extension, alright, and it is basically a thick bundle. It is a bundle of nerves. is a thick bundle of nerves. And the spinal cord, this is, it is protected by the vertebral column. This vertebral column is a bony structure or the backbone that you can basically call. So your spinal cord runs through that backbone, alright, and it is protected by that backbone. And you can see that this vertebral column is quite long, but then the spinal cord is not as long as the vertebral column. It's a bit shorter than the length of your vertebral column. And this spinal cord, it basically transfers information between the brain and the other nerves of your body. Now we are using the term nerves, right? So you also have to know what are nerves. Nerves are basically, you can by now you know that they are part of the nervous system, and their work is to transmit the information from the body to the brain and also from the brain to the body. Nerves also, on the basis of their function, they can be divided into three types. The first one is sensory nerve. The second is motor nerve. And the third one is mixed nerve. Now, as you know, we all have sense organs, right? We have the eyes, we have the ears. These are all our sense organs. So, we have nerves in these sense organs as well. So, the nerves which are carrying information from these sense organs to the brain. So, nerves which are carrying information from the sense organ to the brain are known as the sensory nerves, alright? Then there are nerves which are known as motor nerves. These are the nerves which are carrying information from the brain to the other parts of the body. This is carrying messages from the brain to the other parts of the body. And lastly, we have the mixed nerve. So the word mixed means, you know, right? Mixed means all together, or when something is mixed. So these nerves, they carry information to the brain and also from the brain. Alright, so this was our types of nerves. Now the next topic here is types of action. Our next topic is actions of the body. Now every day we do a lot of functions or actions, right? So these actions, they can be divided into two types. Actions of the body. In an entire day we do, or our body, it does a lot of action, alright? So we are going to basically see what are the types of actions. It can be broadly divided into two parts. The first one is voluntary. The first one is voluntary actions. And the second one is involuntary. Second one is involuntary actions. So voluntary actions, these are basically the actions which you do with your choice or with your will. Okay, so these are the actions which you do with your choice. For example, if you are feeling hungry, so it's like you will want to eat something, right? You can take a fruit or you can take some biscuits and eat it. It is your brain, or it is your choice that you are hungry, so you want to eat. So this kind of action is known as voluntary action. Now involuntary action is the opposite of voluntary actions. That means these are actions which are not under your control, okay? This is not by your choice. Not by your choice. For example, you cannot control the beating of your heart, alright? You cannot say that, okay, now let my heartbeat stop and it will stop. That means you cannot control it. Either you work, you study, you sleep, your heart will keep on beating. So it is not your choice, okay, to control that. Hence, that is an involuntary action. Now, under involuntary actions also, there is one more type of action which is known as the reflex action. Reflex action. Now, what is a reflex action? This is an involuntary action. That means it is not means it is not in your will, or it is not your choice, and it is what? Very quick in nature, alright. For example, again I'll give you the example of this hot utensil. You have a hot utensil, you do not know that it is hot, you accidentally touch it, okay. Once you touch it and you feel that it's really hot, you will not even wait 2 seconds, right, and hold that utensil. You will immediately leave the utensil without even thinking anything. So that kind of action which is not under your control and which occurs very fast is known as reflex action. Another example of this can be, sometimes you see that when somebody is sweeping the floor, you know, there are dust particles all around. Or when somebody is frying chilies or making this chili powder, when these particles get inside your nose, you will immediately start sneezing without thinking anything, right? So these are all reflex actions. Now, there is one more thing here. When we are talking about this, our nervous system, we should know that we have the sense organs, right? Now, what is the work of the sense organs? These sense organs, they basically help us to know or judge the environment or everything that is going around us, okay. For example, we know that our sense organs are our eyes, ears, nose, we have the tongue, and we have the skin. So we have 5 sense organs, and these sense organs, or the organs which are very sensitive to any kind of stimulus, they are known as the sense organs, alright. So we are going to see each of them. So the first one is eye or eyes. Now we all have this phone cameras in our phones, right? Yes, the cameras in our phone. What do? They help in capturing images, right? But even before these cameras, we had our eyes. And these eyes, they are like natural camera. What does it do? It helps us in seeing everything or every object, right? So the eye, what it does is that it basically captures pictures, and then it sends these pictures to the brain. Then the brain will see all these pictures and it will interpret, and it will tell your eyes that what have you seen. For example, when you see a car, your eye is basically clicking a picture of that car. That picture is going to the brain, then the brain is telling you, oh, this is a car, and hence you know that it is a car. Alright. Then our eyes, they are very sensitive, hence they have to be protected. So we have the eyebrows, we have the eyelash, and we have the eyelid. All these things, it protects our eyes from dust, sweat, any kind of injury, then intense light. For example, when you see a very bright object, you immediately close your eyes. So it is your eyelids which is protecting your eyes, alright. And one more thing, if you see your eyes, it is always moist. Why? Because there is tears or water present in your eye. Alright, it helps to keep your eyes clean and also keeps it moist. Then our next organ is the ear. Next we have the ears. We know that our ear, it helps us in collecting different sounds, and it helps us to listen to all these sounds, alright. Now there is one more interesting fact, that our ears, it helps us in maintaining or keeping balance. Then the third part, we have the tongue. The third is the tongue. We all know that we use our tongue to taste things, right? Whenever you're eating food or anything, it is basically your tongue which is telling you what have you ate or how does it taste. So if you see the tongue like this, if this is your tongue, the front portion of your tongue, there are taste buds, alright? You have different taste buds located on your tongue, and that helps you to know that what taste is it. So the front of your tongue here, the taste buds are there. These basically taste sweet. Alright? Means if you eat anything sweet, it is this part of the tongue that will feel that. Alright? That sweet taste. Then just here you have this salty taste. That means it detects salty taste. Then in this part you will see that it is sour. And here in this part, this tastes bitter. Alright. And the tongue, it also helps us to speak. Then the fourth one is the nose. Our nose, it helps us to detect different kind of smells or odors. All right, it helps us in smell or different kinds of odors. And the nose, it also helps in breathing. The breathing that you do, you are throwing out carbon dioxide, taking in oxygen, that is happening with the help of your nose. And the fifth one, which is the last sense organ, is the skin. Now, the skin, it covers our entire body, and the skin, it has nerve endings. Alright, whenever something, suppose what happens is that if a mosquito sits on your hand, immediately you know that there is something on your hand, right? You can feel that. That is with the help of what? The nerves which are situated at your skin. Okay, and then everything that you are sensing, means whether it is hot or whether it is cold, okay, everything you are means feeling that with the help of your skin. So this was all for this chapter. Now I will just give you the objective type questions. So we have matched the following here. The first cerebellum is D, that means this one. Voluntary action A. Motor nerves, this is B. And ears, this is C, this one. Then take the correct answer. The first one is C, second one is B, and the third one is C. I will give you some of the question and answers now. And the fourth one is C. Now these are some of the question and answers. The first one, what is the function of the nervous system and what does it consist of? The nervous system controls the activities of all the organ system of our body. It consists of the brain, spinal cord and nerves. Next question, write a short note on function of the brain. The function of the brain are given below. The brain coordinates and controls body processes like breathing, digestion of food, etc. It controls the movement of the body and its various parts. It interprets sensations and allows the body to react accordingly. What are nerves? Nerves are part of the nervous system which conduct information throughout the body. They transfer messages to and from the brain. This is on the next page. What is the function of the sensory nerves and the motor nerves? The function of the sensory nerve is to bring messages from the sense organs to the brain. The function of the motor nerve is to carry messages from the brain to other parts of the body. What are reflex actions? Give an example. Reflex actions are involuntary actions which are very quick in response to a stimulus. Example, on touching something hot, we instantly remove our hand. What are sense organs? How many sense organs do we have? Specialized organs such as eye, ear, tongue, nose or skin that are sensitive to stimulus such as sound, light, smell, etc. are known as the sense organs. We have 5 sense organs.